My friends, let me share with you some profound truths about the inner workings of wealth, drawn from the timeless laws of the mind that I've studied and lived by all these years. You see, money isn't merely a pile of coins or a stack of bills. It's a mirror reflecting our deepest subconscious patterns, those conditioned responses shaped by the auto-suggestions we've fed ourselves since childhood. In this great land of opportunity, where every American can rise through persistent effort, we often overlook how our early impressions anchor our financial behaviors, much like Pavlov's experiments showed how repeated stimuli create automatic reactions. Think of it as your personal financial blueprint, etched into the subconscious by the environments and influences of your youth. Perhaps a father who toiled in the factories during the Roaring '20s, instilling a fear of market crashes, or a mother who navigated the hardships of the Great Depression, embedding a reverence for frugality that reframes every dollar as a seed for security. Now, consider the magnificent power of what I call the compounding principle, that subtle yet explosive force where small, consistent actions build into fortunes through the magic of time and reinvestment. It's not unlike the way our minds compound thoughts through daily affirmations, turning a single idea into a dominant habit via the law of attraction. Take a young investor starting early, much like those ambitious lads in the post-World War era who put aside nickels from paper routes. By letting earnings grow upon earnings, they harness the subconscious drive for persistence, avoiding the ego's urge for quick thrills. I've seen men who, through behavioral conditioning, delayed gratification from boyhood, allowing their wealth to multiply exponentially, far outpacing those who chased immediate pleasures. This isn't mere arithmetic, it's psychological mastery, where the reframing of time as an ally turns ordinary savers into kings of capital, their success anchored in the unyielding rhythm of compounded growth. Yet how often do we let pessimism cloud our vision, that insidious cognitive bias rooted in our primitive fear responses, making us fixate on losses while ignoring the slow bloom of progress? Optimism, my dear listeners, is the faith that reprograms the mind toward positive expectancy, even amid setbacks, drawing from the collective unconscious of America's resilient spirit forged in trials like the frontier days. We gravitate toward gloomy forecasts because dramatic downturns trigger our fight-or-flight instincts, much like a sudden storm commands attention over a gentle harvest. But true financial wisdom lies in modeling the long-view thinkers who, through mental suggestion, maintain equilibrium. Remember, advancements in industry and medicine creep forward incrementally, saving lives through persistent innovation. Yet it's the rare catastrophes that etch deep emotional anchors. Reframe your outlook, and you'll see that over decades, the scales tip toward abundance if you condition yourself against undue alarm. But let's not forget the twin forces of fortune and hazard, those unpredictable elements that interplay with our conscious efforts, much like the archetypes of chance in Jungian psychology influencing our life narratives. Picture a bright young mind in the 1960s stumbling upon rare opportunities in emerging technologies, a stroke of serendipity that propels him forward, while a peer, equally gifted, meets an untimely mishap, a climbing accident, say, that halts his path. This isn't to diminish hard work or intelligence, but to highlight how risk, that sibling to luck, operates through probabilistic conditioning, where external variables shape outcomes beyond our control. In the pursuit of wealth, humility comes from recognizing this duality. It tempers the ego's overconfidence, encouraging a balanced modeling of strategies that account for both talent and the whims of fate, fostering a resilient subconscious framework for decision-making. True happiness in matters of money, I've come to believe, springs from autonomy over one's life, that supreme dividend where financial means grant the freedom to choose your path without chains. It's the psychological state of self-mastery, where control averts the dissonance of unfulfilled desires, far outweighing the superficial allure of salary or status symbols. Many chase riches only to surrender their time, trapped in a cycle of escalating demands that erode well-being, ignoring how autonomy anchors positive emotions more reliably than any possession. Pursue wealth wisely, then, by valuing the hours it buys back for you. Spend not on fleeting joys, but on reclaiming your schedule, for without this, accumulation becomes a hollow echo, leaking away contentment like sand through fingers. Then there are those pivotal outliers, the tail-end phenomena where a handful of events drive the bulk of results, a concept akin to Pareto's principle in human behavior, where 20% of efforts yield 80% of rewards. Imagine an art collector in the mid-century amassing pieces from visionaries like Picasso, holding vast quantities through diversified persistence. Most may prove ordinary, but a scant few skyrocket in value, their success hinging on patience amid failures. This mirrors venture pursuits or even corporate innovations, where myriad trials flop, yet one breakthrough, modeled after relentless experimentation, compensates abundantly. We overlook these tales because our minds fixate on visible triumphs, not the subconscious grind of iterations. Embrace them, and you'll reframe setbacks as necessary steps, conditioning yourself to thrive on the rare, transformative wins that define enduring fortunes. Distinguish, too, between the flash of riches and the quiet depth of wealth, where the former parades in current earnings and ostentation, while the latter hides in unspent assets, built through disciplined restraint. It's a matter of cognitive reframing. The Lamborghini driver may project affluence, but often it's debt-fueled illusion. A behavioral trap of living beyond means that sabotages long-term security. True wealth demands self-control, denying impulses for diamonds or upgrades to fortify your financial base. It's invisible, harder to emulate than lavish spending, yet it's the anchor of stability. Society conditions us to equate money with expenditure, but invert that script. Hoard not greedily, but strategically, investing in futures where assets compound silently, yielding the peace of independence. Investing exacts its toll, not just in currency, but in emotional fortitude, much like scaling a rugged peak where uncertainty and peril are the admission fees for the summit view. From afar, the route seems clear, but en route, you'll navigate detours, storms, and slips, psychological stressors that test your resolve, demanding adaptive reframing to persist. Unlike a mountain climb, where we accept risks as inherent, many approach markets seeking gains without volatility's bite, deluding themselves into shortcut schemes like timing peaks and troughs. Yet historical cycles, from the 1929 crash to wartime booms, show that enduring fluctuations, those highs and lows evoking fear and greed, is the price for superior returns. Convince your subconscious it's worthwhile, and you'll model the steadfast investor who pays willingly for the promise of ascent. Finally, beware the endless chase, that hedonic adaptation where each achievement merely resets your baseline, propelling you onward without satisfaction, akin to Sisyphus eternally pushing his boulder. Ultra-wealthy titans of industry, already atop mountains of gold, have fallen into ruin by never deeming it sufficient, their psyches conditioned to perpetual dissatisfaction that breeds reckless acts. Knowing enough is the ultimate psychological safeguard, halting the treadmill before it consumes you. It preserves fulfillment, ensuring wealth enhances life rather than devours it. In all this, my friends, remember that money psychology is the mastery of your mind. Harness it with intention, and prosperity will follow as naturally as dawn.